Let's talk about it. Tank versus Roach this past Saturday. I just created this YouTube channel, and it's my first upload. I just had to address some of the wild malarkey I've been seeing and hearing since that boxing match. And I'm surprised. I mean, there's a lot of credible boxing analysts that I pay attention to that I can't believe what I'm hearing from these people. I mean, most of them I have the highest regard, highest respect for them, and I respect their knowledge of the fight game. But I'm listening to what they're saying about the Tank fight, and I'm not hearing Tank get no credit for what he did in that ring. Um, it was a competitive, entertaining fight. It took both. It took both fighters to perform a dance like what we seen this Saturday. Let's not get it twisted, people. The fact that we talking about it, this has been the talk of the internet since. And what that tell you is the fight was a good fight. I mean, Roach came with it. Tank came with it. Tank wasn't backing down. And Roach, what I'm impressed with, first thing that impressed me about Roach is his ability to take a punch. Most people that get hit with Tank punches don't make it to the last round. And Tank was landing clean punches. He landed, I think he landed more cleaner punches on Roach than what Roach landed on Tank. Now, Roach landed some good shots, more than we ever seen Tank get hit with. But the fact that Roach was able to take those punches, impressive. Very impressive. And to take it a step further, is he answered back. Not only did he take the punches, he answered back with his own shots. And at the end of the day, it made for a good old fashioned scrap. And now people talking about robbery. Where was the robbery? Who got robbed? At the end of that fight, I said it could go either way. As much as I want Tank to win, I said this fight can go either way. Tank can win because he's the champ. You got to beat the champ. And although Lamont was very competitive, he did not dominate that fight. He didn't dominate Tank. So, in my opinion, the fight could have went either way. So when it landed on the draw, I said, you know what? I wanted Tank to win, but the draw was fair because Lamont impressed me. I don't think nobody saw Lamont putting up the fight that he came and put up that night. So, and what bothers me is the fact that nobody is highlighting how much of a entertaining fight boxing match that was. That was high level boxing. These guys was like the timing, the accuracy, the ring generalship. They was thinking, both of them. The counter punching, man. Oh, let's. Everybody's talking about the grease in in Tank eye and the knee. Given that wasn't the best decision on taking the knee to get his face wiped. If he needed to get his eye wiped, um, he maybe could have toughed it out. It might have cleared up on his own if he'd have just kept fighting. Or, or maybe he could have waited for a break in the action and then wiped it himself. I'm not sure what other options he could have went with, but taking the knee, controversial. A lot of people say that's considered a knockdown. Um, When I read the rules, that's not what I saw. But I think it is customary that the ref would call it a knockdown and give him a standing 8 count if you take a knee. Right? Under that circumstance, nobody thought Tank was hurt. When Tank took the knee, he might have been on his knee a half a millisecond. As soon as his knee touched the mat, he was back on his feet, ran to the corner, and just said, "Wipe my eye." He turned to the ref, turned back around, "Hurry up, wipe my eye." They wiped it. He back in the center of the ring, gloves up, ready. It was obvious he wasn't hurt from nothing Lamont did. So to give Lamont a 10-8 round, I didn't agree with that. I didn't agree with that. And I think the ref made a good call by not doing that. He looked at Tank. He spoke to Tank. He saw what it was. Tank told him, "I just had to wipe my eye." And the ref made a judgment call and said, "Okay, back to the action." So I don't, like I said, probably could have made a better decision. Could have, maybe could have went about it a different way, less controversial way to get his eye wiped. But even with that knee, I thought Tank was winning that round. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, they do call it a knockdown. It still wouldn't have been a 10-8 round for Lamont. It would have been 9-9. Because in my opinion, Tank was up. Tank was boxing beautifully. He was landing the better shots. He outpunched him that round. So that's why I say it's obvious to me people, boxing fans, be so fickle sometimes. And it's like they'll take any little reason, any little possible hole, any possible loophole to make Tank look like he's not invincible, or they want him to take a L. Um, I'm not sure what that was about. Why so many outlets is dragging Tank right now over that fight. When at the end of you go back and watch it, and I went back and watched it. It was a good fight of the year, and I give credit to both fighters. I mean, a lot of people, Lamont is on the map now. People didn't know who he was. Now a lot of people is paying attention. It took a good competitor to make a good fight. So I give Lamont his props. Salute to Lamont Roach. And gotta give it to Tank. Tank the cash cow. Tank's him. If Tank wasn't him, what Lamont did wouldn't have been impressive. The fact that Lamont was able to compete wouldn't have been impressive. You know, I got a lot to say, man. I got my opinions, and everybody got opinions, but give the fighters their props. They go through a long training camp. They put their bodies through a lot to get in that ring and fight. And 12 rounds of action is what we got on Saturday night. Not one round was boring. It was give and take the whole night. That's all I'm saying. I had to get on and talk about. I got a lot more to talk about. Like I'm gonna upload another video talking about the training camp because I got my thoughts on what went the different training camp that Tank used for this fight. I got some thoughts I want to talk about. So this is just the beginning. I want to talk about Coach Calvin and Coach Kenny. Um, I want to talk about something that Tank said at one of the interviews when he said that Turkey Al Sheik and all those boxers, when they took that picture, how he said it looked like some devil worship, like they all sold their soul. And then lo and behold, now he's been like, I don't know. We'll talk about that on another video. My name, Bro Rich, y'all. Get used to seeing me, especially when stuff like this come up and we need to talk about it. I'm out. Peace.